Hello, Nicholas Deans here, and I will be speaking to you today about the bowfin fish. When asked to do an informative speech, I saw a great chance to apply my desire to educate on wildlife at the same time. The bowfin is one of the most interesting and unique fish species in Kentucky, so let's jump right in. The bowfin, commonly known as the mudfish or dogfish, is also known as a living fossil according to the works of Solomon David, as it is the only living species of the 100 million year old Amidae family. The species has a large, flat head with elongated tubular nostrils and a large terminal mouth full of sharp teeth. This means their jaws are of equal length and that they are predatory fish. They have a long, near cylindrical body growing to an average of 2 feet in length, 43 inches being the largest according to Hassenberg in his article Bowfin. The bowfin has a spineless dorsal fin, which is the fin on its back, that runs more than 50% of the body's length with rounded pelvic, pectoral, and caudal fins. They are born with a heterocircle tail, meaning the upper and lower lobes of the tail fin are uneven, which becomes modified at maturity. The scales on their body are large and olive green in color, with the occasional casts of brown or gray, whereas the head maintains the olive green coloration while lacking in scales. The males are identified by a large dark circle with a yellowish rim near the tail fin, with the female spot being less distinct and it doesn't have the rim. The bowfin can be found in southeast Canada, starting from the St. Lawrence River, through Vermont into the Mississippi drainage, down south into Florida and even Texas. They tend to inhabit larger bodies of water, like lakes, swamps, or pools, but can also be found in rivers and streams. The most important aspect to the body of water is that they must be able to support the bowfin with the ample amount of vegetation they require. These bodies of water tend to be warmer and often become depleted of oxygen, but the bowfin has a modified air bladder that acts as a lung, allowing them to breathe from the surface when needed. This also allows them to live out of water for periods of time, either to survive drought or even to move to new bodies of water that are nearby. Green reports that there was a case of a bowfin living in the mud of a dried up lake for 21 days. 21 days. It's ridiculous. The bowfin is a ravenous predator, though, that tends to dominate the bodies of water that they inhabit, typically due to them being the only larger fish species that's capable of surviving in the warm, stagnant swamps and pools. The bowfin is sometimes blamed for the depletion of smaller game fish in lakes, but studies by Jackson suggest the bowfin predates foraging fish more commonly, keeping them from overpopulating and outcompeting the game fish. They spawn between April and June, usually at night, and typically in vegetative shallow water. The males build nests as a means to court females, and when a female approaches the nest, the mating ritual of chasing, nose biting, and bumping begins. If the female is interested, she will lay her eggs as the male swims beside her, fertilizing the eggs at the same time. One male can even guard multiple sets of eggs from other females at once. Once hatched, the young will form a close school and follow the adult male bowfin for protection until they grow to about 4 inches and go off on their own to dominate their waters. A living fossil that can survive out of water for days at a time and even move on land to other bodies of water. The bowfin is truly a marvelous species. It's important to know native species, and it's subjectively more interesting than most topics anyway, so why not learn it? I shall conclude this speech with a final fact about the bowfin. Their eggs are harvested for caviar that is especially popular in Cajun cuisine. Thank you. Goodbye.